Okay guys, thank you for tuning in. My name is Damien and this is my review of the Eovan GTS Carbon Pro 2-in-1 electric skateboard. Now before we get started, I want you guys to make sure you understand that these are just my thoughts, and at the end of the day, you should take anything anyone says with a grain of salt and do your own research to make sure that the board is right for you. Do not feel pressured by me or anyone to buy something. Instead, only buy it if you like what you see. If you don't like what you see and the cons are too bad for you, then hey, move on to the next product. But let's get this review started. So I'm 6 feet, 233 pounds. So when I was looking for a board, I wanted one that was large enough to let me do whatever stance I wanted. And that brings us into the deck and design. So the Eovan GTS Carbon Pro 2-in-1 spots a 41-inch carbon fiber deck that is massive. It is a behemoth of a board. It looks sleek, aggressive, and freaking nice, but is also 29.7 pounds. But we'll get back to that. So this deck lets me just have whatever stance I want. And the fact that it's flared on both the front and back allows my size 13 feet to move, shimmy, and do whatever I want riding on this board. And that feels so nice, guys. It also spots a unibody design that contributes to that sleekness because the battery enclosure is the deck itself. There's no separate enclosure at the bottom, which in my opinion takes a little bit away from the look of boards. But again, that's my opinion. It also rocks padded grip tape, which every stiff deck should have padded grip tape, as Skate Mafia said. But the padded grip tape holds you so well and your feet sink in and it just feels so comfy. But the one thing I don't like, or the one thing I did not like about the board when I first got it, was the aggressive W concave. W's is supposed to look like this, but it damn near felt like this, where there was a bulge in the middle of my feet that kept causing me to seesaw left and right. But as I staggered my stance and rolled the board more, I ended up appreciating it and understanding the reason they probably went so aggressive with the concave is because the deck is 41 inches. So moving that mess left and right required a lot of extra ingenuity, which is also why they probably went with a double kingpin truck setup. And the double kingpin trucks are very, very strong. Very, very strong, and in my opinion, very nice too. So how do I know they're strong? Well, I cranked the board at 30 miles per hour on accident. I wasn't paying attention, flipped the remote, and I watched it smash into the curb. I saw the curb, a piece of the curb fly off, and the double kingpin trucks were completely fine, less a couple scratches on the front. So good job, Eovan, with that. And so just to wrap up this section, the pros, 41-inch deck, a lot of room for you to establish your stance, a lot of comfort and stability. The cons, the weight. 29.7 pounds is a lot of weight to truck around. If you're not riding the board and never have to carry it, that's when you really feel the burden and inconvenience of that weight. When you are riding it, that weight translates to a lot of added stability and you can feel that in your ride. Now that aggressive W concave is something some people will get used to and love, and some other people will hate and end up ripping off the grip tape from the center to reduce that bulge in the middle a little bit. So let's move on to the battery. One big contributing factor to the weight is the 12S4P battery. That battery is comprised of Panasonic fat cells with 4,800 milliamp hours, and man, does it give you range. There is no range anxiety with this board. With 7-inch AT wheels at 233 pounds, I got 17.4 miles with 13% charge left. And when I was on the 105s, I got 26.2 miles with 32% charge left before forgetting that I was doing a range test and charging the board. So the way I was riding pretty chill. You know, I did a couple cars and I was going 18 to 26 miles per hour with the occasional 26 to 30, with the keyword there being occasional. When I was on the 7-inch ATs, I was cutting through grass. I was cutting through gravel. I thought I was Superman. Didn't matter. Pothole, I'm going through it. Speed bump, I'm going through it. The 7-inch ATs are phenomenal, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Let's go into the motors. The motors, 63, 68, 170 kV motors, fat as shit, and man, does it pull my heavy self across the city with ease. 14 degree incline, easy. Grass, easy. Gravel, look, it doesn't matter. Long story short, the motors haul. They haul you. If you're a heavier dude, do not worry. If you're a lighter dude, but yeah, it's phenomenal. Don't trip. Like the torque, everything phenomenal. Off the gate at first, too much. Too much. The jump, and mind you, this board is 29.7 pounds. Could you imagine if it was lighter? I can, because it'd be a lot more convenient to carry. But yeah, no, the motors are solid. So that's all I gotta say about them. I could try and dive in more, but what else is there to say? The motors pull my 233-pound self with ease. End of story. Moving on to the wheel selection, Eovan has a lot of different wheel options on their website, and they have a lot of different pulley options, different cores, all that. So you do not have to worry. Just know though that the pulley/cores are made of, they're CNC, so they're heavier. A lot of e-skaters I talk to say they prefer the not CNC one because they're lighter. But I like the CNC one just because they're so gorgeous. Again, I love the quality of the Eovan board. It's, again, gorgeous. You hear me saying that so much, but a lot of it does contribute, again, to the weight. But you don't have to worry about wheel selection. You don't have to worry about pulleys. They have so much available to you, so that's cool. In terms of the wheels, I got the 7-inch ATs and the 105s. The 105s, in my opinion, feels like someone took a cloud wheel and they took some water and they threw it in there. Then they tried to dry it off, but they didn't do a good job. That's how the 105 rubber wheels feel. I personally don't like them. The traction breaks so unpredictably, but the 7-inch AT wheels, oh, Eovan, you guys did your thing with that. It feels like I'm Goku on the flying Nimbus. I feel like Aladdin singing a whole new world on that magic carpet, and the magic carpet was freshly cleaned. It's just an amazing ride experience. Like, you're not gonna feel any bumps. I was doing a group ride, managed to get to 30 miles to a line. I got to 29 miles. I was going for 30, but I got scared. But I wasn't scared because of a lack of stability. I was scared just because it was a lot of speed. But it felt so smooth. I am not lying. The Eovan with 7-inch ATs is the definitive way to ride. Or so I thought before I tried some street wheels on it. If you think the Eovan can't ride on street wheels, you're tweaking. Shout out to Skate Unity for putting me on. The Eovan is on any wheel, it's phenomenal. The weight of the board that I said was a con ends up being a huge benefit in terms of the improved stability. And because of that, when you're riding on any wheels, whether it's hard or soft, you can really do what you want to do. So take that for what you will, and let's move on. Let's talk about the remote. The remote ergonomics, fantastic, phenomenal. Wow. The display, very, very clear. Like, you see everything beautifully done, very well lit. Bright day, doesn't matter, you can see everything. Controls are hyper responsive. You double tap the speed, switch from kilometers to miles. You double tap the power, switch from forward to reverse. Eovan, you did a fantastic job with the remote. The remote also tells you the battery of your board as well as the remote, and I love that feature. Now, what I don't like about the remote is that the dial, the throw, it is weird. So the first 50% of your push, you get damn near 80 to 90% of the speed, the torque, everything. And that catches you off guard because the other 50% is like dead. It's just, you're getting like the last 10%. I mean, at that point, you've already like damn near either crashed or you're already at max speed before you do that. So you end up just moving your remote kind of like this. And that kind of sucks. I wish it was more evenly spread, and that's a huge con for me. I'm used to it though, but I want to adjust it. I'm sure some people can say like, oh, just go into the vest and adjust. Look, if I'm buying a board at that price, I don't want to adjust that. I'm trying to just buy and use. If I want to build a board, that's a different story. So if Eovan releases an update, cool. Or if I learn how to do it myself, cool. But you'll get used to it. It's just a con and just something to be aware of so you don't get yourself injured right off the gate, right in the board. Now, in terms of the quality of the ride is amazing. The carves are wide. Beautiful, wide, enjoyable carves. I mean, they can make some tight carves, and the board can hit some sharp turns. It can hit some sharp U's. The turning radius can be real tight, which is so weird with a board that big. But that's probably because of that aggressive W concave, the double kingpin truck, just the measures they took to ensure that the board had a lot of mobility for the size. But the majority of the time when you're carving, your carves are going to be wide. So if you're not a fan of wide carves, just swinging cars, then you might want a shorter board. Just being 100% honest with you guys. The stability of the board, again, phenomenal. Like, you genuinely feel the board riding with you. Like, it doesn't ever feel like the board is gonna slip from under your feet. Even when I told you, except on the 105s. But aside from that, the board literally is just a stable, wide carving stability fiend. I love the board. So, if you guys can't tell. Customer service. The customer service is great. I'd say, honestly, just to sum it up quickly, in terms of answering all the questions, Eovan gets an A+. In terms of the politeness, Eovan gets an A+. Response time, I'd give them, honestly, for me, I'd now put them in an A, but for a lot of people, listening to what I've heard and what I went through with the ordering experience, I'd probably still put them in like a B-. And that's not to be mean. I know that during a few months ago, around April and March, they went through a material shortage, which resulted in them having a backlog and them having to catch up. During that material shortage, naturally, they're not responding to people as fast as they used to, but understand that once you don't get responded to for 2 or 3 days and you place an order of about 1,006, 1,007, it's gonna feel way longer. And so once Eovan now has caught up on that, so hopefully they're responding to people a lot quicker. I think that's the only issue with their customer services. Sometimes their responses can take several days. Understand that. And I think that they should put that on the website for some people, because it really does give you ease of mind, because you don't want to feel like, I ordered this, where's my order? But trust me, they're good people. They've been very polite. If you guys have trouble reaching out to them, try using their Instagram and email. I haven't really used Facebook, so I can't speak for that. I don't want to speak for stuff I don't know. I know that they're trying to establish a warehouse in LA, I believe. And so that should change the game for them, because with customer service, I haven't had any issues with my board, any glitches, none of that with the actual board. But the fact, when they have this warehouse, is going to be huge, because if I do have an issue, I want to be able to get the problem resolved quickly. I don't want to have to send it internationally, do all that. I'm one of those people, I don't like the headache. So customer service, I don't think you guys have to worry about. They are taking the right steps in the right direction. They are being very transparent with everything on their site, which they should, and good job. And so I wholeheartedly would recommend the board to anyone. But if you are looking for a board that you're just gonna ride for 2 to 3 miles, this ain't the board for you. If you're just riding 2 to 3 miles here and there, don't get this board, get something else. If you're gonna be riding more frequently, and range anxiety is something you go through, definitely get this board. If you want a board that's stable, get this board. If you want a board that's light, don't get this board. So like I said before, make sure you get a board that's right for you. Do your research like I did. Don't just buy this board because I said it's a nice board. Like, make sure you understand this board is heavy. The W concave is you're gonna have an adjustment period if you're not used to that. The weight of the board, if you live on the 5th floor and you don't have an elevator, that's gonna suck. I'll tell you that right now. So please understand these things. Also, with the con that I said for the 105s, the one reason I would recommend them is just to get that Kegel pulley so that you have the pulley to use other wheels. That pulley is nice and it comes with the 105. If you get like the RS125 or RS120, whatever, you're not gonna get the Kegel pulley, which is a bummer. Or at least I believe you won't get the Kegel pulley. So that's the only reason I say get the 105 if you have other wheels or that you want to use. That way you can just quickly start using those. Anyways, if you're interested in this board though, there is an affiliate link below and a discount code. Prices for the board are going to be increasing soon. Eovan was very public with that. This is not insider information, it's on the site. So just a heads up, if you want the board or if you have any questions, you're on the fence, hit me up so I can answer it to the best of my ability so you do not make a wrong decision. Don't buy anything you're not sure of. Anyway, that being said, thank you guys all for the support. Like, comment, share, please subscribe, it helps out. But if you have any tips for me in terms of riding and all that, leave it below. I enjoy the conversations we've been having. I enjoy the growth that I've gained, and I really do appreciate you guys so much. Again, if you have questions about the board, please hit me up. Leave it in the comments below so I can answer them publicly so that people do not make a mistake. This board gets a pass, and it's a buy from me, but that's my opinion. Thank you guys. Damien out. Peace.